All right. Hey, welcome everybody to the 303 Endurance Webinar Series. This is now our fourth monthly webinar, and we are going to have some fun tonight. We are going to be talking about what TriDot Pool School is all about and what this term FAST is and what does it stand for and how just how you can get more out of swimming, hopefully by just attending this webinar and hopefully learn more about TriDot Pool Schools. We are really excited. We've got Brandy Ramirez. She's a coach and a proud mother of 4 amazing children and 1 grandson. She is a certified Ironman coach, a certified TriDot coach, a master swim coach for TriDot. She has a degree in science and health, and she is a certified race director with USAT. And currently, she's the director of TriDot Pool School. She's also a Ironman competitor, and somehow she finds the time to train and race. She's also the president and founder of SheStrong, a nonprofit organization that she found after her own personal battle with stage 3 breast cancer. She founded this organization to help women who are currently fighting breast cancer and have previously fought breast cancer and want to fight back to fitness and triathlon. So, Coach Brandy, we're glad that you are here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very honored to be here with all of you tonight. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. You know, I am talking too much. So we're going to jump here into some questions. The way we're going to do this tonight is the way we've done our last few is Coach April and I are going to start off with some questions for Coach Brandy, and then we will turn it over to the audience and open it up for your questions. So, Coach Brandy, you ready for the first question?
Yeah, let's get this going.
Okay. So first of all, tell us just background. What is TriDot Pool School as a program, and and why was it developed? Tell us just what was its origin?
Yeah, so about 2.5 years ago, Jeff Boer, the president of TriDot, realized that there's a huge disconnect between how many cyclists we have in the world and how many runners we have. And the biggest part was the fear of the water. And so he set out to create a program that would bridge that gap and help people to get into our sport that we love so much. And so that is basically the reason why TriDot Pool School was created, and that's what we do every time we come to a location. We help adults to become better freestyle fitness competitors in their water.
I will say, as a personal testimony, I did not grow up swimming. I definitely am an adult onset swimmer, and that's exactly what TriDot Pool School did for me. I'm incredibly grateful for the amazing instruction that I received, and now am continuing to climb up the competitive ladder as Coach Rich grabs the board. I mean, I will just say, like, as a spoiler here, I took 10 seconds off my 100-yard time and was the second fastest female at this. Not that it's a competition, but I was like, holy mackerel. I am so impressed with how much I learned and how much I grew in just that 2-day workshop. So I want to give that little caveat here that it's an incredible program and it absolutely is developed for anyone, regardless of your swimming background. And I'm excited to hear more about it, Brandy. So I wanted to ask you as a follow-up question, one of the skills that we really focus on specifically is the freestyle, and more specifically is functional freestyle. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Functional freestyle is just a term that means helping every athlete to become as efficient as possible in the water, right? We don't want you just getting in the water, burning yourself out, and then you get out on race day, and now all of a sudden you don't have legs or arms and you're trying desperately to get to T1. We want you to have efficiency in the water, and we want you to know what it feels like to be in the proper position for your body in the water. And that's what functional freestyle is.
Brandy, we have this, we TriDot Pool School is also a great learning experience. You learn why you're doing functional freestyle. You learn that, the shortest point between two places is a straight line, for example. And when we talk about functional freestyle and we talk about technique, just for the sake of exercise here, does swimming require more technique than cycling or running? Why or why not?
Well, I would probably open that up to the people here. By a show of hands, how many think that your swim form is more important than your bike or your run?
Or type it in the chat. Which one do you
Type it
think
in
is
the
the
chat.
most important? Yeah.
That's great, Brandy. Carolyn says, depends on the distance. Swim from Braun. Alice said swim. Paul, swim. Sasha, swim. Hector, swim. We got a consensus here. Looks like group consensus.
Yeah. So as much as I would love to agree with you guys, I have to disagree with you guys. Everything in your swim, your bike, and your run is all about form. It's just that most people have a preconception that the swim is the hardest, and therefore the form is the most important. And so I would say your form, whether on your bike, where your body position is, your form is extremely important. And then on your run, your form is extremely important. Every discipline, the swim, bike, and run, they all have form, and it's most important to try to keep that form. The preconception is most people don't have the correct form. And so it seems like swimming is harder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you're kind of
conventional wisdom kind of says, well, it's because of my form that I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, but you try to ride your bike without a saddle, and you realize
Mm.
pretty quickly how much that bike is holding you in the desired position.
Or a
You try
poor
to,
bike fit,
yeah,
let alone, right? That
right.
can wear you out real quick.
All right,
All
April,
right.
over to you.
Yes, thank you. So for those of us who are adult onset swimmers, Brandy, what can attending TriDot Pool School do for us, and how can it help those who are already quote unquote fast?
Well, I'll tell you a story. When we went to Arizona, we had a swimmer that was in my lane, and his pre-seed time was a 3:20. And for him, he just kept saying, like, I'm just not a good swimmer. I'm not a good swimmer. By day 2 on Sunday, when he retested at a 1:25. He
What?
dropped over half of his time. And so it doesn't matter if you're just beginning, you've only been in the water for 2 months, or if you're super, super fast. Mark Allen, when he came to San Diego, I was an athlete in the water with Mark Allen in the same pool. And Mark Allen himself, one of the fastest people alive, he dropped time as well. So pool school was not just created for somebody who's really super fast and knows how to swim. It was created for everybody, because what we're going to do is we're going to take you from the ground up. We're going to strip away any ideas that you have of what's right or what's wrong. And we're just going to start at the bottom, and we're going to build you step by step from there. And so over 1,000 athletes have come to pool school, and they've all dropped an average of 13%. And so
Oh
it's
my
not
gosh.
just, oh, well, only April's going to drop 10 seconds. It's open for anybody and everybody. If you are willing to learn and you want to get better and improve in your functional freestyle, then pool school is going to give you so many different outlets on how to not only know that you can be faster, but how to go home and use those same drills and sets
Mm.
to keep reinforcing and to keep getting faster.
The learning experience that you get at pool school actually starts before you get to pool school. So could you share with folks what the prep work is in terms of, online and sort of pre-rehearsal or pre-practice?
Yeah, absolutely. Once you sign up for pool school, you get access to the TriDot Academy. And within that academy, you're going to have videos that are dry land drills. And so basically, we're going to start muscle memory, just you at your home with nobody else watching, so you don't have to be intimidated. And you could just begin doing these dry land drills to create this muscle memory in this movement. And then when you come to pool school, those muscle memories and the movement that you've been doing at home on your dry land, you get to incorporate that in pool school. We're also going to ask you to order a few different things like long fins instead of the short fins that some people who attended, like swimming when you were a kid.
Yeah.
It's not those ones. But we're going to give you these different equipment so you can take it to the pool, a snorkel, and we want you to start practicing with these before you come to pool school. If you don't practice with them, we're still going to teach you how to use them. As soon as you get on deck, your coaches are going to show you how to use it, the best way to use it, and make sure that you feel comfortable when you get into the water.
Can I ask just a quick follow-up question on that? Because I think it's really cool that you start by preparing at home, doing those dry land drills, but then even before you get in the water, you maybe talk through the process that the lane coaches, maybe the process of, how we introduce the next drill, how it's then practiced on land and then practiced in the water, just that progression maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. So TPS is proprietary, so I can't give you all of our secrets
Yeah,
today,
sure.
but I can tell you that it starts with a head instructor. So the head instructor is going to give you some guidance and direction. We're going to explain why we're doing it and the way that we want it to be perfected in the water. Then we're going to go to our demo, which is one of our coaches. They're actually going to get on the dry land in front of you, and they're going to show you the way that the body is supposed to look on dry land. Then that demo coach is going to get in the water and he's going to show you in the water what we expect you to be able to do or what we're looking for in the next movement. And then after that, every athlete is going to be broken up with 2 coaches. We run a 1-to-3 ratio. So there's 5 athletes in a lane with 2 coaches. So you get a lot of one-on-one time, personal attention. You're going to get instruction every 25. So that means every time you get down to the end of the pool, one of your coaches is going to be there to give you some guidance and direction. And so you can thank them because your coaches are going to walk at least 5 miles every day. But they're eager to do that because they want to see you succeed and they want to make sure that you improve. And so that's basically what happens for 4 hours on Sunday and then 4 hours on Sunday, or on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday.
Yeah, one of my favorite things too about after attending TriDot Pool School is that your drills that you learn in the 2-day workshop, like Brandy said, they continue with you. You'll see them actually available in the app to utilize as your warm-up to help you really reinforce the movement, getting streamlined, knowing what it feels like. And I think that in and of itself makes it really worth the amount of time and practice and individual attention. And that's one thing I can also like foot stomp. You're going to get a lot of individual attention. It's amazing the feedback and the very specific attention that helps you with really understanding the form. So it's not just like a bunch of critiques, it's actual feedback that you can apply right then and there and build the reps. And I think that is one of the most beautiful things about this experience because everybody's getting feedback, everybody's learning together, everybody's encouraging each other. And I won't give too much away, but there is a group aspect to this that is so amazing that it's unlike any other, and in my opinion, any other school swim session that I've experienced. So I wanted to throw that out there too, that it's multifaceted.
Yeah, we do try to create a really good camaraderie in those lanes. We put you with swimmers that are in the same speed as you so that you don't feel overpowered or somebody taking over you in the water. And we also don't use a lot of big swim terms. This isn't about,
Right.
becoming a pro swimmer in freestyle. So we really break it down and just make it as simple as we can and help everybody to understand. The biggest thing is we're also going to be laughing. We're going to try to get you laughing. We want you to relax. We want you to have a good time. So it is just one big party in the pool.
Big pool party. I love it.
That's
Thank
going
you,
to be
Brandy.
that is going to be the title of this episode. It's going to be a pool party with Coach
With
Brandy
Brandy.
Ramirez.
She's like, I didn't sign up for that.
No, I always sign up for that. That's actually what TPS is about. I mean, on day 2, at the end of day 2, your lane mates are going to be cheering you on. You're going to be cheering them on. It's going to be just a lot of hype and fun and excitement. We go out to dinner on Saturday night, not just as coaches, but coaches and athletes, because we do want to get to know our athletes better and remove that, the impeding water. So
Yes.
we go out to dinner together just to talk and become friends. That's what pool school is really about.
Yeah, I agree. We had our lane was called Lady Lane, and we were smoking and joking. It was amazing.
Joking and joking. Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And as
I got
A-type personalities, I mean, that's really what happens. Lanes,
yeah.
they come up with names, they come up with terms. I mean, it is really just a lot of fun.
Yeah, shout out to Jasmine Moezi, who is our instructor. We had a famous catchphrase after that. I quite fancy swimming. So just inside joke, but we had so much fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Brandy, can you tell us anything else that you would want our audience to know about this 2-day workshop? What does it entail? How can they be ready for this?
We're going to do as much as we possibly can before pool school to make sure that you're ready, right? In terms of helping you answer any kind of questions you have, getting you with the dry land drills and getting you prepped. I think the biggest thing that I would tell athletes, and I do tell athletes, I've coached several different lanes. I'm a head instructor at some of these events throughout the US. And the one thing that I would really tell you is just come with an open mind.
Mm.
Just come ready to learn, soak it up. Like that is what we are here for. We're here to help you. We want you to be as efficient as you can be when you leave pool school, but not just that, we want you to be confident. We want you to enjoy the swim portion of any race that you go into. We don't want you dreading it anymore or just telling yourself this is the one part of the race I have to get through so that I can have fun on the rest of it. We want you walking away with a smile on your face with new friends from your lanes. And then afterwards, you're part of the Facebook group. Like that is still a huge thing where we create more community. You can send in videos and have other coaches continue to give you feedback on your form. So it doesn't just end after pool school. I mean, there's still more growth and there's still more excitement. You're going to go home with homework. We're happy to CC your coach if your coach is not a TriDot coach, because we really want nothing more than for you to feel strong and confident about your swim and to get as much as you can out of pool school.
That's fantastic. Brandy, way to wrap that up there. We are now going to turn it over to the audience to ask questions. So you are going to hear from somebody else. So can we open up a mic?
Really get started.
Yeah, go ahead and raise your hand or just open your mic and ask Brandy a question.
You can
Come on,
also
guys,
use the
don't be
chat
shy.
function too. Yes. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Good,
Hi,
how are you?
Hector.
My name is Hector Alvarez. I've been with TriDot for about 3 or 4 years. My coach is Tony Washington,
Yeah.
All right.
and I've raced with Kurt Madden. I think it was California. I've been out there with Kurt. Shout outs to Kurt. I've personally done pool school in Boston. I did pool school, and Jeff Brewer was there. His daughter and his son was there, and I got to get an experience. So I just kind of want to give my feedback of actually being there as, just an athlete, not a coach, not somebody like that. And everybody who's in this feed right now, curious, I feel like it's a 100% worth your investment to do this. TriDot is a big family. I love you guys. I came on to TriDot, didn't know how to swim at all. My son was 18 years old, and he got murdered at 18 years old. And he was training for an Ironman. And when he passed away, I decided to take the torch and keep going and do it for him. So I started to do Ironmans for my son, who passed away at the age of 18. So, and I got into Coach Tony, and he's become my friend. And I went into TriDot Pool School not knowing how to swim. And now I'm 7 Ironmans in. I'm going to New Zealand in 3 weeks to do my 8th full Ironman. And I'm not stopping because I'm doing this for my son who passed away, and TriDots is my family. And anybody in here who's ever thinking about joining the pool school and doing it, I highly recommend that you go ahead and do it, because you will succeed, you will achieve, and you will be better, and you will come out of it with confidence and a family. And personally, me, I love TriDot. You guys are my family. I love you guys. And I just wanted to, just let that be known.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hector. If I could do the hearts like everybody else, I would have been doing that myself. But, and Hector, I was actually on the pool deck when you were in Boston as well.
Oh, I didn't recognize.
My hair was like shaved on the sides at the time.
Oh, yes, I remember now. So you remember me and my energy.
I do.
And I love
do.
swimming. I love swimming.
Yes.
No, we love you.
You know, I love you guys.
Thank you,
for
Hector.
sharing that. Wow.
Ooh, I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah,
That was
sorry.
amazing, Hector. Oh,
Who wants to follow that
yeah.
with a question?
Well, we
We have
did
somebody
have
in
in
the
the
chat?
chat. Yep.
Okay, good.
We got Caroline. She said, "Oi, don't hate me, Rich. When is the last day to sign up for the one in Colorado Springs?"
Yeah, so Colorado Springs is March 1st and 2nd. So the last day to sign up for that is going to be February 22nd.
You guys still got time, Carolyn.
Yes, we do. We'd love to see you there as well.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. All right, I've got Jeff Moses. What is a common swimming pre-pool school issue swimmers come with to pool school?
Great question.
Yeah, the biggest one that I have seen when people come to pool school, and it's something that so many people do, and I honestly, I make a joke out of it. As soon as I see it happen, I will walk down to the end of my lane and just call them out. So if April was doing it, I would have walked down to the end of the lane and I would have been like, April, I know your secret. You're a swinger, baby. She would look at me like, what? And that just means that she's swinging her arm from the outside. It happens so much. So many people are swingers instead of just bringing that arm forward. And so what happens is as you swing the body, or you swing the first arm to come forward, the lower part of the body is now out of balance. And so now the lower part of the body is trying to find that balance. And so if you were watching yourself swim, you would be doing this thing through the water because you would look like a snake. What you're doing is you're throwing your body to the right, you're throwing it to the left, and so forth. So the biggest thing is people swinging their arms instead of just bringing those arms straight forward in a direct line.
I have another one for you. Now you can answer this as best you can, given the proprietary nature of the pool school, of TriDot Pool School. What can you tell us about the acronym FAST?
That's what everybody wants to be, right? We want to be fast. So the acronym FAST is very proprietary. Yeah, it's something that you will learn at school, but it is all about your body's position. And so we bring it down. The F is going to stand for your fingers, and then we're going to go through the whole rest of your body. But it's the way that your body needs to be in a position to ensure that you're going to be the fastest in the water. And then we just ask you not to swim half fast.
See what you did there, Brandy.
See that?
Yeah, and maybe this is a follow-up question. And again, use your best judgment on how you want to answer it. But what percent of the time would you say in pool school we are spending on that position versus how to get power in a catch and stroke?
Oh, that's going to be like a 90-10. 90% of the time, we're going to just keep like, find fast, find your fast. Where's your fast? When you come to pool school, we're not worried about the power of your pool underneath. And so, I mean, if you really think about it, over 1,000 people have improved by 13%, and we're not even working on the pool under the water, right? We are working on the body position above the water. We're not working on your catch part in the pool, which is where a lot of your power is. So people are improving so hugely, only focusing really on the position of the body in fast, finding that form. And so we do touch about 10% on the catch pull part of the underwater experience of swimming, but 90% of it is finding fast, and how you find that fast, you're going to improve. Well, Kurt's got a question.
Yeah, I see that.
Maybe
Go, Coach K.
Maybe a comment. I got to bounce here, but I want to say a couple things. This is really cool. So I'll start there. Hector, great to see you, brother. That guy is full of energy. If you're ever out on an
Yes.
Ironman course, I'll tell you that guy's the real deal. Alice, we have a home for you. We have a sanctuary lane for you. It's like Hearst Castle. So we will get you all set up,
Yes.
sister. You don't even have to worry. You know, you can bring those fancy swim caps from the 1950s, like Marilyn Monroe, some like it hot or something like
Flowers?
that. Yeah,
Can I
like,
bring the
you know,
flowers?
some like it
Okay.
hot, like
Yes.
Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
We got those caps. We got all that stuff for you. But
A
honestly,
geriatric lane.
oh, totally. And honestly, I have an athlete that's 80 years old. 80. I can
That's
even say
right.
that 80. He went to pool school in San Diego. He even improved. But a couple things that
Great.
I want to mention. First of all, I'm so honored that Brandy is in this position because she's the right person to oversee the whole program. That's the first thing. Secondly, I know it works because 80% of my athletes have gone through pool school, and you have that very common language. You do the drills every single workout, and it makes swimming actually fun. And I like going to races when you can just look in people's eyes. You don't have to even ask the question. They're kind of already peeing in their wetsuit when they don't need to pee in their wetsuit because they're not feeling that love when they started. But when you go through pool school, you really develop that confidence, the confidence. What I enjoy about it too, and again, trying to be very sensitive to the information we can share, when you see the athlete being able to correct themselves, that's like the light bulb goes off. It's like, oh my goodness. And if you can self-correct, that's great because so many people, they're bound to the term, I'm going to get better. Well, how do you do that? I'll swim 5 days a week. I'll swim every day for an hour. But if you don't have that technique and a little bit of guidance and you don't open yourself up to say, we can, make you improve, you're going to just flatline it. The other thing too with pool school, think of it as a bike fit.
Hmm.
That when you're going to get your bike fit, you should do this once a year or once every other year. So from the cost advantage, it is just a huge return on your investment. And I swim in San Diego. I swim in two different pools. I really am amazed at all the different varieties of form I see when people are swimming. It's a little scary to be very honest. If I had a golden wand and my magic wand, I'd say, no, you're in pool school, you're in pool school, you're in pool school. So, all of our listeners, as you make a commitment to invest in yourself first, I can tell you with sincerity and honesty, you're going to enjoy swimming more. You're going to develop a great community. And the experience is going to be something you're like, oh my gosh, I should have planted that tree 20 years ago, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to invest in myself this year and start right now. And if you don't really like it for whatever reason, what's nice, we've had people like, can I come back? Because I don't think I quite got it. Work with Brandy on that. And I'm not telling you she will do this, but I know this person very well. If for some reason there's a little bit of a hiccup, come back. So I'm totally on pool school. I love it. My athletes love it. And you know the other nice thing? It's nice when you come out of the water that there's so many bikes can't even find your bike versus if you're not actually a very good swimmer, it's real easy to find your bike because it might be one of the last ones that's still there. So anyway, shout out to all of you, but I know I've got to transition because my time has come, but super job tonight.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach K,
Coach
for
K.
joining.
All right, take care. See ya. Bye.
It was a nice cameo.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yes,
For sure.
Mr. Madden.
Do we have any other questions? I don't see anybody have any other questions that they want to ask.
Brandy, I have a question. Is there a minimum swim proficiency to attend TriDot Pool School?
Yes, but it is very minimal. What we do
Okay.
ask is we want you to be able to swim with your face in the water, obviously.
Yes.
It's going to be a little hard to teach you how to swim if you can't put your face in the water. So we do want you to be able to put your face in the water and then execute a 50-meter swim. So if you're in a 25-yard pool, that's going to be 2 laps if you like to count it the long way, but with long fins. So again, not those racer ones that people who are in swim team wear, but the longer ones that we have you order for pool school. We want you to be able to swim down and back in an 1 minute and 15 seconds. And so most people could do that just wearing the fins and not even using their arms. So it is a very minimal requirement, and you're going to improve so much by the time you leave on Sunday. I have
And
a
we,
question for anybody who's been a coach on deck. I know Rich has, and I know Jeff Moses has as well. So what is your favorite part of pool school when you're a coach on deck?
You want to go first?
Sure.
Well, he's trying to find the mute button. I'll go first. I would say first and foremost, it is the plane ride home because I am just elated because it's what is funny is we little bit of a teaser. We do take some video, obviously, while you're at pool school, and some of the video that we take on day one when you're first warming up and we're just kind of getting an assessment of kind of where you're at. And we look at your strokes and they all look so different. And because you've all come from different places, you all have different backgrounds, and they frankly, part of the reason that some of us are there is that they don't look very efficient either. But by day two, you're taking that video on day two and you're like, what happened? They don't look they don't look the same at all. You look a lot similar now because you're all doing the functional freestyle and following the F.A.S.T because you've been really drilling it length after length after length after length, getting feedback every length. By day two, it's like, I don't know, what is it? Coordinated swimming or what's the Olympics? Everyone's just doing the
synchronized
same thing.
swimming.
Synchronized
Yeah.
swimming. It just looks so much
Crisp.
better. So
Yeah.
it's that transition that happens from day one to day two.
Yeah, it is huge between the athletes from day one to day two. Even if they're good swimmers, you see it in their face and their expression when they come back day two, suddenly everything starts to click and come together. So I would agree, Rich. What about you, Jeff?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. I think it's the relationships that are forged, both peer-to-peer, coach-to-peer, and the follow-ups that occur after that first race where it all clicked. It's all been done and accomplished in the pool and reinforced, and it's become unconscious bias. The muscle memory is there. And they get out of the water and they get, oh my God, I cannot, just like April stated before, I cannot believe I just got out of the water so fast.
Yeah.
That makes my soul smile because it is then that the value of what you embarked on, the journey that you decided to grab and execute pays off. It's where the rubber meets the road. And when I get to hear that story, when I get to be part in that shared journey of the athlete on the post-race debrief, it's exciting for me to see that excitement. And it speaks for itself. 12% improvement is the average when you go to pool school. And so you cannot replicate that. You can't take 10 seconds that April mentioned, 10 seconds off. That doesn't seem like much, but in an Ironman, that's 6 minutes less out of the water.
Yeah.
That's incredible amount. That's 2 miles on the bike if you're going 20 miles an hour, right? It's an incredible amount of efficiency that you gain. And so I love the deck time, but I love even more hearing about the stories and those relationships that are forged. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, for sure. I had an amazing experience in New Zealand at World Championships just recently, and it wasn't even from pool school, but when you're down, I had the privilege of going down and helping athletes with their wetsuits at one of the practice swims. And there was a woman down there, her name was Hazel, and she had come over and we helped her with her wetsuit, and then she went into the water. And I mean, we're at World Championships, right? So you had to qualify somewhere. So she came back and she was panicking, and she was panicking because of the water and getting in the water. And it wasn't the way she was expecting it. It wasn't a pool. And so me and another coach, we kind of calmed her down. We walked her through some things and gave her some tips and tricks and focus on this. So she went back out to the water. She swam for about another 15, 20 minutes and She came back in, she was starting to calm down more. We talked to her again, and then she went out the third time and she did amazing. Race day, she nailed her swim, but it just happens. And being a coach and being able to see that transition when somebody is not sure of themselves, when they're panicking a little bit, when they have zero confidence in what they're about to do. And then you get to sit there and you get to be part of that journey and walk them through it and get them to another side where they feel so confident and they're so ready and they're so proud. It's just such an amazing moment as a coach to be able to experience it.
Yeah. Quick follow-up to that. I find that fast position, because it becomes so drilled in, it becomes the kind of the core of everything, right? Everything always comes back to that. And when you're out there in open water, or maybe you're doing your, CSS test, and you're really kind of pushing your limit, or you're getting anxious because something's off, maybe you're just, you're not in a groove. When you mentally put yourself back at F.A.S.T, and then and your body goes back to F.A.S.T, all of a sudden everything just seems to calm down again. It's like you're back home, you're kind of centered again in your stroke. Uh, this is a question for you, Brandy, about the pool school itself. I just put a link in the chat here. If people want to click in to just follow along, could you maybe highlight some of the logistics of the Colorado Springs pool school, if anybody is thinking about it? So,
Oh, certainly. I wasn't expecting this one, so give me just
yeah, I
2
know.
seconds.
Sorry. Now we're freewheeling.
I can tell you that it's taking place on March 1st and 2nd in Colorado Springs at the lovely base. I'm actually very excited and I'm looking forward to this. So April, the lovely April here, helped us get the USAFA Fitness Center in Colorado Springs. And so we get to go onto the base that's there in Colorado. It will take place at day 1, which would be March 1st, is going to be from 12 to 4. And then day 2 is going to be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. So every location has a different start time on day 1 or day 2, just depending on what we could get with the pool. So we're going to have a bunch of coaches come down. We're all ready to help you all become as efficient in the water as we can in finding your F.A.S.T. We'll be staying at the Hilton Garden Inn in Colorado Springs, going out to dinner on Saturday night. Where that dinner is, that's going to be secret. It's only going to be those of us who are there are going to be in the know. So if you want to come join us for dinner, make sure that you sign up for pool school and you come out March 1st and 2nd.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Any other questions for Coach Brandy? Oh,
We had a
hang on a second.
follow-up from Alice. Yeah. What
I
if,
see it. Yep.
Yep.
Go for it.
What if you can only go one day due to travel?
Yeah, so that's really hard. So we have had people who only come for one day and then they make up that second day at a different location or a different time. You can do that. I would really tell you it's in your best interest to get day 1 and day 2 done back to back. And it's because what you learn on day 1, we give you so much information and we're creating new muscle memory. We're changing the body. And we find that when you go home on Saturday night and you show back up Sunday morning, everything has started to click together. And so if unfortunately you can't make that Sunday, then you don't have that connection, right, for day 2. So we really encourage you to do day 1 and day 2 at the same location at the same time. But we can always try to work things out and help anybody in any way we can.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Brandy. We got one more question in the chat from Carolyn. She asks, she says, you spoke a lot about the form aspect. Do you go over any of the mental aspect of swimming?
Yes, we absolutely do. We talk a lot about that at pool school. There's different concepts that we will talk about at pool school. We will go in depth about the way the body moves, about the way the body responds, about some fear factors that people have in open water and being in the pool. We're going to teach you to breathe to both sides. And most people go like, I cannot breathe to my left. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And by the end of day 1, most people are breathing to their non-dominant side. So we do talk a lot about the difference in what you should expect what we're expecting from you. We do talk about anxiety. We talk about getting frustrated. We do expect you to get frustrated because we are literally changing the way that you are moving through the water, right? I wasn't a swim team swimmer when I was a kid. I was a surfer, and I find that most surfers, when they transfer over to swimming freestyle, we do pretty well with it. But even when I went to pool school, I was very frustrated on day one because, and it's just that A-type personality. We all want to do the best. We all want to be the best. And so when it's not clicking at first, there is a lot of frustration, and we do expect it. But here's the most amazing part. April herself was just recently in the water. Every single coach that you have in your lane has been an athlete in the water. It is a prerequisite for becoming a coach on deck. And we do it specifically because we want our coaches to know exactly what you are going through, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so there is not one coach on deck who has not been in the water who doesn't already understand what you're going through. And so that's huge when our athletes come, because an athlete can look at the coach and be like, no, you don't understand. Honestly, we do understand because we've all been there. We've all been through the program. We've all experienced it for ourselves. And so it's one of the best part of our coaches. We can speak to you not only as a coach on deck who knows the program, but we could speak to you as an athlete who's been in the water and gone through it ourselves.
Oh, that was powerful, Brandy. And I will say too, when I finished, I had tears of joy in my eyes. Like it was very emotional, and very powerful. And it just has reverberated in such an amazing way. So myself, Coach Rich, we're also going to be on deck, and I'm super excited for this opportunity to be with y'all.
Coach Brandy, I've got one more question for you in the chat here. You ready? Ruth Fountain, I've been to pool school in Chicago, loved it. Will there be a pool school level 2 created someday?
Yeah, so this is something I was already like considering last year, because we get this question quite often. People are so excited. They've learned so much and they want to keep going. They want to keep progressing. They want to keep getting better at their fast and getting better at their functional freestyle. Jeff and I have bounced around some ideas. We haven't really got anything locked in yet, but yes, we are always looking to grow. We're always looking to continue to help you as athletes improve every form you possibly can. So I would say we're probably going to have something in the future for that.
All right. Looking in the chat, I don't see anything else. All right. Hold on, one more in the chat here. Hang on. Any chance you will be coming to the Pacific Northwest soon?
So I have to tell you, I'm like geographically challenged.
So,
What area is
thinking,
the Pacific Northwest?
Seattle.
Big Portland area.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, actually we are thinking of like, I would love to go to Oregon. I would love to have a pool school up that way. And we are working on it. So we've been to Washington once before. Washington, I believe it's Washington State that way, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we've been to Washington State once before, and we had a really good turnout. For us, what is kind of a caveat, if you would, in where we place our pool schools is having a team there. Right. So right now we're building the team in Colorado. When we came to Colorado last year, we had 4 coaches who were in the water as athletes. Now those 4 coaches are transitioning to coaches on deck. So it's about building a team. It's not very advantageous to us to fly 12 coaches to an area. We do it sometimes when we're building the team over there, but that's right now what we're looking to do. So fingers crossed, we are getting more coaches that are coming over to TriDot every day. And so that's very exciting for us as well. We can have those coaches go to pool school and open up pool schools that are closer to them.
Ruth says pool school can come to Omaha. Multi-Sport Nationals is here. That's a great point.
That is a great point. And actually we have a couple that are kind of in the works, because like I said, the new coaches have been coming and joining TriDot. And so we are starting to move up that way more. I can't tell you what this way is, but I know right now we're mostly coastal this way. So we're moving up this way.
Love that. You're getting the inside scoop here, Ruth.
You look like a weather forecaster.
Over
Coach
this
Brandy.
way.
Coastal. We're trying to move up that way.
Love it. Anyone else have any final questions before we bring it to a wrap up? before I
Looks-
torture test Brandy a little bit before we close this.
Okay,
I
I
am
think
kind
that's
of
it.
worried about these torture tests. I'm like,
Oh, they're
I'm
they're
kinda
fun.
nervous.
I'm on the receiving end of them every week. It's great.
Haven't heard any complaints yet, so
I laugh every time. They're great.
we're about to see then what they are. So I'm excited. Let's do it.
okay, cool. Well, Brandy, this is a very special segment. It is called Like It, Love It, Leave It. And the caveat with this is that you have to give it a grade. You can't avoid it completely. So it's kind of like marry, kill.
Right, right.
Right. But this is pool school edition, and it has to do with kind of dilemmas that happen in the pool. All right. All right. So you got to tell me, like it, love it, or leave it. One, that mystery warm spot in the water. Two, hairballs floating towards you mid-lap. Or
Oh,
three,
that is so gross.
the moment your goggles snap right before the main set. Like it, love it, or leave it.
Okay, so I totally like the warm spot in the water, but it depends on if it's really super cold outside. So, so yeah, but I always get that very last lane, right? So everybody's over here, so I'm not worried about it. So I know what the warm spot is, and it's okay. So yeah, that one, I'm gonna love that one. The hairball floating. And so for me, I don't get the hairball floating in the pool. Unfortunately, I always get somebody else's hair in my mouth when I
Oh no.
breathe.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so revolting. Like, talk about hitting the brakes. It's like instant stop and pop up. Yeah, that I'm gonna say we have to leave it completely, because I mean, I'm like
Ugh.
in the water all the time. And then the moment your goggles snap right before the main set, I'm gonna like that one, because I mean, I'll just get mad and I'll just swim anyway. So,
Yes, you can overcome that. The hair
yeah,
in
I
the
can
mouth,
overcome
that's a
that
whole
one.
other deal.
Yeah, so definitely gonna have to get rid of the hair that's floating. And then yeah, I love the warm spot. So depending. Sometimes it's too hot in my pool, because we do have the older people who come in to do the jazzer.
Yep, they keep
Yeah.
it warm. Yep.
And then it's like 82 degrees and you're just like, I'm dying. Can somebody just turn the spa off? So
Well, thank you for
Depends
playing
on-
this edition of Like It, Love It, or Leave It. I put you in the hot spot for sure.
no, it wasn't too bad. It was fun.
Awesome. Coach Brandy, this was a blast. Thank you for joining us and helping, helping unpack TriDot Pool School. And hopefully folks got some good information to take away. And if they want to follow up with you, how can they get in touch with you? Can we just share your email, how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody who might be listening, it's super easy. My email is my name, brandy.ramirez@predictive.fit. And so I answer questions all the time for anybody who has a question about pool school or their form or getting into the TriDot Academy to watch the videos. That's what I'm here for, is to make it easier for you guys to enjoy your experience with pool school. Or if you ever want to send a question into the support team, it'll eventually make its way to me. But it's quicker if you send it directly to me.
Awesome. That's it. I think that concludes our now fourth webinar. So thank you for joining, and we'll listen. Hopefully you'll hear us on the podcast this weekend.
Yes, and don't wait too long on getting signed up for Colorado Springs. Y'all know the biz now.
Yeah, we are really looking forward to hosting everybody in Colorado Springs in March. So it's going to be a great time. So make sure you just come out and be part of the fun with the rest of us. You don't want to miss it.
That's it. Thanks, folks. Guess we can stop recording.